Kirana everyone, and thank you for joining the Matariki podcast. Today I'm here with the lovely Judy Speight, the CEO of Accelerating Aotearoa.
Kia ora. It's very exciting to sit this side of the microphone. Tell me, Taranui, what are you going to ask me about today?
Let's keep that secret.
Oh, okay. Now I'm really afraid.
Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for coming, and I'm so honored to have you join me today. And thankful for what you do for the community and accelerating Aotearoa.
Oh, that's lovely. I love it. You know that, eh? Makes my heart go.
So what was your main role in the Matariki event in Papatoetoe?
It's all a really complex relationship between all the bits and pieces, but our community leader, Nita Rawpati, asked me and Huia that we work with and a few other people to help her bring together the funding or bring together the projects that we were celebrating Matariki across Otara and Papatoetoe with. And then because I'm also work as an ONAC trustee at Otara Network, they were asked to look after the money, and my job with Otara Network is that I'm the treasurer, so that meant that I had to manage all the money once we'd given it all out. I mean, once we decided who was going to get it, and that was a separate committee, then my next job was to make sure everybody had done the things that we asked them to do before they got their money, and then pay them their money, and then support them while they did their support. So that was how it was. I came to the Otara Papatoetoe. Well, how I attended pretty well every event. I didn't go to the dawn event because we'd had our holiday program, and I just couldn't keep myself organised for that. Other things to do at 5 a.m. Most of the others I was at, which was, it was so amazing, eh? I just loved being part of everything. And to come to the very last event and see our amazing friend Shirley, how lucky are we just to be part of something that's really cool. And Shirley and I hadn't worked together for such a long time apart from what we've just been doing for the last few weeks. So I feel really lucky. And I don't want to jump on your next question, but just to say something I've been feeling and I haven't said was the best thing about the whole thing was reconnecting and connecting more with people I hadn't seen for ages. I don't think there were any new people, but everybody was doing their own little piece of creating this special celebration for community, and I had the joy and the honour of reconnecting with them all to do what I was able to do, to help them make it happen. And that's why I'm so grateful to Nita, really, and I know you're going to talk to her tomorrow, so that's exciting. Nita just held us all together in this hilarious bubble of frantic activity and dysfunction. Okay, moving on. The outcome was joyful, and we had an amazing event, but trying to get that many people working within a process that we felt together, our committee felt it was quite simple. And people just don't want to play, and they still think they're going to get their money, but they aren't. You can't fund a project that's not where people haven't followed the process. And some people shouted at me, some people didn't talk to me at all, some people were amazing, some people procrastinated. But, the fact was that there was a hold-up with the money coming through from council, and we got to the week before the event and no one had got any money. And that was not really, we wanted them to have their money so that they knew that they'd be funded to do, because people had to buy things and people had to, pay people, and we wanted that to be going all right, and it really wasn't. So Yeah, some of it was community, some of it, probably a lot of it was council. Oh, yeah.
So what were some of the challenges and how did you deal with it?
Well, that was one challenge of people, particularly, our council community people not doing what they said they were going to do, not following through on what they committed, because the whole thing about event management is trusting each other to do their own little thing. Yeah. Other challenges. The challenges that you expect that colleagues might have a particular skill set, but when you've worked with them in a different way, and then you find out that they don't have that skill set. So I guess, just in terms of generally, I don't want to go into too much detail, but generally organising things, running a process, designing a process, running a process, supporting a process to happen. And those things often didn't happen, not the way I expected them to, and maybe that's my fault too. So how did I deal with it? I reflected on the joy of the quantum, the broad thing that we were creating together, and made a mental note about who's got no idea about how they can do different things, but celebrated what we managed to do together. And I think maybe that's the big joy. And the wonder of it all is, as a community, doing a much better job than we knew, like a professional outfit, like a commercial organisation, because we were doing it for our community. So that's so much. I mean, can you imagine an amazing person of your age being part of fronting the reporting on, a Queen Street ad agency just wouldn't even think about that, because they wouldn't even want something that was real and true as part of what they were doing. They wouldn't occur to them that it would be a useful thing to do. So all of those thoughts I had along the way, because once upon a time, of course, I worked for companies that did hire people to do everything instead of working with communities to create things. Has that answered your question, do you think, a little bit? Yeah. So let's call it interesting, not worst. Yeah. And it was just interesting seeing that everything is not the way you think it might be.
From the whole process, what were your highlights from the Matariki event?
One of the highlights is around the things that we created. The tirama, whetū or Matariki, like the sparkling lights downstairs.
Yeah.
And what an amazing thing. It's like something you see in an art gallery, but the kids made it. What a beautiful thing to have. So I love that, but I love the fact that was part of a whole week-long activity of, learning to do the rāranga, learning to do different kinds, learning about the process of dyeing harakeke, about the stories behind Matariki, which were blended in. So it was that, I guess, a wonderful expression of what Matariki is. In a commercial world, it would just be someone would make something like the sparkling stars, the tirama, or whetū, or ngā whetū. But here it's embedded in mātauranga Māori, mātauranga Pasifika. So we're bringing our own stories, but also who we are as people. We're bringing that to a celebration. And I think the same thing goes for my other two favourite events. Well, I had other favourite events too. I loved going down to Mayfield Road. Did you guys go down and see that? No, because that was before you moved, wasn't it? And they had the coffee outside and the sausages, and it was... And then the bikers going past, doing wheelies, wondering what was going on over there. And Nisha was hilarious. She's going, "Oi, come over for a sausage, oi!" And then she said to me, "Can you imagine how many mamas don't often get a bought coffee?" And here was that, the Sā Māori guys doing coffee, whatever you wanted, hot chocolate, mochaccino, flat white, cappuccino, Americano, whatever. They were just making coffees, hundreds of coffees. And what a special thing to bring to everybody. And then they had their Pūtikawa, the remembrance stars. it was really cool. And then another one, so just remembering that the stories, our stories as a community are underneath all of these, holding them. The next one is thinking through, I love the Mahara, which was the remembrance planting. So we did that in Otara Park Reserve, and that was special. Really special. So the trees were all planted in the Matariki constellation, and we got to choose a tree to plant, choose a place to plant a tree to remember our person we've lost. And so, yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that we know those trees will grow as we do as a community. And of course, the final thing, pardon me, I want to say that, but I loved Shulei's event. I loved the fact that we had, young people, some not so young, some more older, singing their hearts out with amazing music that they'd created, and just sharing that as a community musical event. That was really, really special. So there you go. And to cap it all off, the last shots, which I hope we use for the video, has got this brilliant pink sky, and they had the drone up there taking this amazing pink sky. So there you go. It was amazing, just amazing. And I'm so lucky to have had the opportunity to be part of it. I really am.
Do you have any last words of encouragement for the community?
Yeah. Be brave. Demand that we can create our own celebrations in our own way with our own people.
Yeah.
We don't need commercial money being spent out of town. Let's make it here, made in Otara. And I won't jump up and show my parka, but it's on the back. It says for Otara, by Otara. We can add a P on the back of that, for Otara in Papatui. But I'm so proud to wear this jacket to celebrate this community and know that we can create something as well as a TVNZ production team. And we should probably do a shout out here for the technical people behind the camera. Vinny, Superman. And we should have a shot of that. And Will, who's always there encouraging us all as well. These are the two encouragers, aren't they? You've seen them do that. It's true though, together we move forward. You can have a shot of Shirley as well. She might give you a quick rap. Any more questions? I didn't acknowledge you though. Let's just do that bit too. So, together, we're all fulfilling our dreams, but you're part of my dream too. You really are. I mean, you're part of these guys' dream as well, but, we're so lucky to walk with you as you discover your talents and the excitement of being in front of a camera and, maybe you'll be hosting your own show one day. Yeah. And wow, I mean... Wouldn't that be incredible? We'll be able to say, we knew Taranui back in the day when she was quite young and doing her first shows. But, if you love something, they always say if you love something, you'll never work another day in your life. But I can tell that you love this, but you're not just loving it, you're just confident about it. And that comes from loving something. Never work another day in your life.
Well, thank you, Judy, so much for sharing your knowledge and kindness today on the Matariki podcast.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to do that, Taranui. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching the Matariki podcast. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Woohoo. See ya.